Hello. It's currently 6:30 a.m. and I'm using my lamp light thing as like a ring light. I know it's not a ring light, but you know, whatever words, as a light. It's being used as a light right now. Okay, I'm gonna keep like cam checking myself, so I'm gonna be staring into the corner awkwardly. I feel so stupid doing this. Okay, so video. Yes, that's right, I'm here with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the ARCs that I've read this year. I'll probably do ones that have not yet been released because I assume that's what people would be interested in. There's no plan here. It's just gonna be me talking and probably reading my reviews on Goodreads a little bit. Yeah, a hair update. I change my hair every video because it's like months in between. It's red now. Sorry for the reflection in my glasses. I don't care enough to try and fix that. So the first book that we're going to talk about, or I'm going to talk about, is Lightlark by Aster. Don't know if I'm pronouncing any of that right, but you know. A lot of you, or a lot of, I don't know, I'm saying you as if people watch my videos, but a lot of you have probably seen this book on TikTok, because it's I feel like in my mind it's the TikTok book that everyone knows from TikTok, and it's gotten so much stuff and attention from TikTok even though it hasn't been released yet. It's being adapted into a movie, and like that's kind of crazy because the book hasn't even come out yet. But Lightlark is about this like event thing that happens once every 100 years, and they have the rulers have to fight to win something, and then the winning that breaks the curse. All the kingdoms have curses in them, and the Isla, or I assume her name is Isla, but it's spelled Isla, so it could be Isla, but that sounds wrong. I think it's more Hispanic. I'm not sure. Isla's like the ruler of the wildlings, and she has no powers, but that's a secret. She's not allowed to tell anyone that. And like their curse is that they can't fall in love. Other countries have different curses. They're all trying to break their own curse and blah 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 blah. And then Ela gets into a bunch of friendships, relationships, alliances with people, and then like everyone's doing stuff. It's mysterious. People are, you know, stabbing people in the back. People are lying. People are doing the unexpected. Blah blah blah. They go through different trials. They try to kill each other. When I say you expect a cliche YA, expect it and then expect the unexpected. And when I mean expect the unexpected, I mean it. Miss Aster subverts subversions. And that's all I have to say because I don't want to spoil anything. Anyways, here are my thoughts on the book. I give it 5 stars because I thought that the ending was kind of crazy, but I won't say any spoilers. But let's just say that I thought we were getting, as my notes say, I felt like we were getting a somewhat cliche and predictable YA book. We did not get that. I mean, it kind of starts out that way, and it really gives me an All of Us villains, Throne of Glass, Hunger Games feel. And then things really take a turn at the very end. Like the plot twist at the very end really took me by surprise. There was like 3 different plot twists. One of them was really predictable, but the rest of them were very not predictable. And I keep seeing people who are reading this early and like posting their thoughts on it before finishing the book, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of awkward. Oh, that's not gonna age well when you finish the book. yeah, anyways, I in my review said that it gives Stephanie Garber, so if you like Stephanie Garber, Caraval, I don't know how to pronounce it, Once Upon a Broken Heart, Lightlark is the way to go. 100% Lightlark is the way to go. Because I don't know what I'm saying, but it really reminded me of Stephanie Garber's writing, and I love her. I've met her because she's like the only person that lives near me. She's the only author that lives in the Bay Area for some reason. Okay. Yeah, 5 stars for Lightlark. Okay, nice book. Okay, this is not my typical book. I don't really talk about romance, and I don't really read romance seriously. I usually read it for comedic purposes because sometimes I think it's kind of funny and silly. I love to watch people like try to make romances when I don't understand or feel romantic attraction really, but you know, anyways. Book 2 that I'm talking about is Love on the Brain by Hazelwood. Popularly known by her TikTok book, The Love Hypothesis, which was a Raylo fanfic, and I don't know. No thoughts actually on that one. Let me set the scene for you. I read The Love Hypothesis after I read Love on the Brain back in April. And I really liked Love on the Brain, so I went back to read The Love Hypothesis, and I actually didn't even like The Love Hypothesis that much. It was kind of strange, a little awkward, and questionable for sure. But Love on the Brain, I really, really liked. I gave it 5 stars. It's like between 4 and 5, I would say. And I gave it 5 stars because both the main characters are vegan. And that's awesome. Literally standard romance, I think. Besides the fact that she's a woman in STEM. Love on the Brain is basically, it follows the main character B. I don't know how to pronounce her last name at all. Who is transferring into NASA as a neuroscientist. Oh, I've read it so long ago, I don't remember. A neuroscientist, something like that, and she's working alongside Levi Ward, who is an engineer, and they're working together to make this like helmet thing that sends neurotransmitter things and does things for NASA. Actually, it's kind of unclear what it does. I'm sure there was a line that explained it, and I just don't remember it. Anyways, back in grad school, B and Levi were in grad school together, and everyone thought Levi hated B because of the way he acted around her. But such is not the case, because Levi was so attracted to her that the way he presented himself to her was with disgust. So there's like the miscommunication, enemies to lovers, rivals to lovers situation happening, and then there's a side plot where like B runs this Twitter account, and she's friends with someone on the Twitter account, and the online friend is actually Levi. That's kind of a spoiler, but it's kind of like really obvious that that's what's gonna happen, like in chapter 1. So, but I like that. It was cute. I mean, it was cliche, but isn't all romance cliche? Yeah, so that's the synopsis. I gave it 5 stars. Okay, what other book have I read? Okay, book 3 is The Ballad of Never After, which is the sequel to Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. So Once Upon a Broken Heart is Evangeline Fox and Jax, and they're doing stuff. I don't know if I need to explain it. I feel like it's been out long enough and it's popular enough that people know about it. So if you remember earlier, I mentioned that I love Stephanie Garber, and it's still true after reading The Ballad of Never After, even though I do want to talk about it, but I can't talk to anyone about it because it's not out yet and I don't spoil anything. I gave it 5 stars. Everything I'm talking about has 5 stars because why would I talk bad about anything? I don't know. Yeah, anyways, I gave the Ballad of Never After 5 stars. And you know, in classic Stephanie Garber fashion, there was just a plot twist and then I was like, oh, and then there was another plot twist and I was like, oh, and then there's another plot twist and I was like, how could I not have seen this coming? The clues were all there. No. So I would say The Ballad of Never After picks up where Stephanie Garber left Once Upon a Broken Heart off. And then in my review I says, in my review I say, The Ballad of Never After picks up right where Once Upon a Broken Heart left off, and then grabs you by the throat and does not let you go until the end of the story. I was in a chokehold for these characters. Stuck in a chokehold. And Evangeline and Jax are the best characters that Stephanie Garber has written, and it remains true in this book. It does. And then I also said that this book has a bunch of layers. Like an onion, the ending has lots of plot twists and layers. And also a lot of things started making sense because there were a lot of things that were revealed that I really was kind of shocked to figure out, even though I kind of expected it, but in my mind I was like, that can't be right. And then it happened and I'm like, whoa. Jax is blank, Evangeline is blank, blah, 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 Apollo is blank, you know. I'm not saying it. I'm holding back, guys. It's hard. Okay. Book 4? I don't remember. I'm not keeping count anymore. Book 4, or ARC 4, that I read is Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong. That's right. I'm only talking about the most popular books. Right, Foul Lady Fortune is about Rosalind Lang, who is a character from These Violent Delights and Our Violent Ends. And, you know, yeah. It's about Rosalind and her story after the events of These Violent Delights, like the duology. And it's a spy, fantasy, romance, 1930s Shanghai, Japanese Imperial Army invading type of situation. Which for me, 10 out of 10. I grew up on that stuff, those C-dramas. I grew up watching those C-dramas, and honestly, this book delivers. Let's just say, I thought that this book was like a C-drama kind of, but a little bit better because some of those C-dramas were a little like, if you know, you know. I gave this book like 4 or 5 stars. I feel like I got a super unedited version of an ARC, so I feel like it must have been more polished by the time it gets to being published, because I got one before even it was like a bound manuscript, virtually, obviously. I don't have that kind of clout, but it was kind of a bound manuscript instead of like the ARCs that they give out to like influencers. So I think it was a little unpolished, but you know, it's probably gotten more polished because I got this months and months and months ago. Anyways, my review says, I love a spy, reluctant partners to lovers 1930s Shanghai story. Oh yeah, one of the things in my high school, I learned about the Chinese Revolution in world history, but I don't think a lot of people did. It's because I lived in a really Asian area. So if you did learn about it, it was probably really whitewashed, to be honest with you. So it was really refreshing to see YA kind of have some sort of some sort of story that alludes to what happened on the eastern side of everything that happened in the 1900s, rather than the western side, right? So, you know, Japanese Imperial Army invades China, lots of communist, nationalist fighting, Cultural Revolution, lots of genocides, and, you know, just a terrible time all around. Every time my grandma talks about it, it's like awful, sounds awful. I'm so sorry to everyone. Anyways, back to Foul Lady Fortune. I think that the set of characters is really cute, really charming. Rosalind is, you know, has gone through a lot of things if you read the duology. She's also demisexual. Go off, queen. You know, words escape me. I really like Rosalind. Orion is an interesting character. I wish we got more of his point of view because I think that there's a lot of depth to be added to him rather than what we got. Once again, take everything with a grain of salt because I got a pretty early version of this. I'm just gonna read my review. I think that this book provides a good balance between being YA fantasy while also commentating on real topics and issues during the 1930s in China or Shanghai. In the midst of the Chinese cultural and communist revolution, Foul Lady Fortune brings attention to many historical events that have been essentially erased or whitewashed in America's education of world history, while containing a diverse set of characters, Rosalind being demisexual, Orion and Phoebe being bi, Celia being trans, and then there's a lot of other characters as well. And it's also a spy romance fantasy based on Shakespeare's As You Like It that reminds me heavily of the C-dramas I grew up watching. And also it gives Captain America the First Avenger. For sure it gives that. And I will not explain further because it's a spoiler. Yeah, anyways, I gave it 5 stars. My one critique, if I could call it that, is that a lot of the spy names or the code names that were given to these characters were kind of just phonetically similar to their actual names, and I think it's because it's easier for the readers to remember everyone, but also like sometimes Chinese names are hard for non-Chinese speakers, and I understand that. So their Chinese names kind of sound like their English names, and their Chinese names are like their spy names, or well, whatever. I'm gonna give Chloe Gong the benefit of the doubt and assume that that was because she's trying to cater to a wider audience, but I, as a person who knows Chinese, kind of thought it was funny. A little weird and a little inaccurate, because that would be so easy to crack, like those codes, man. It would be so easy. I would say that there are plot twists in Foul Lady Fortune, but I would also say that the plot twists were kind of predictable, and I can't tell if it's because I watch C-dramas, and so that's just what happens in C-dramas, but like the betrayal and then the mystery and then the reveal, a lot of those things, especially these specific reveals, are things that happen so commonly in like C-dramas. But if you haven't watched a lot of C-dramas, especially like World War I, World War II C-dramas, you'll probably not expect what's gonna happen. Yeah. I think that's it for ARCs I read this year that have not been released yet. Let me check. Yeah. On my list next is Babel, which I'm like 5% in, but it's so good. But I know I have to be in the mental space to read Rebecca Kwong because it's emotionally taxing sometimes, you know? And then I also have to read All of Our Demise and The Atlas Paradox. I'm currently trying to reread the first books before I read the ARCs, because I don't remember the first books very well at all. So yeah, maybe I'll make a video about that soon, but probably not because college is starting soon. That's why my room's a mess. Please ignore everything you see in the background. I'm moving. Everything's everywhere because I have to take everything out, sort it, and then box, like move. Ugh. Anyways, I don't know if I'm gonna make another video soon because I'm going back to college, like in person. And I'm gonna have roommates, so when am I gonna record a video where I sit down and talk for 30 minutes without someone thinking I'm crazy? And I don't want to film a video on campus because I don't know if I want to release where I'm going to school. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, guys. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, ring that bell. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you want more videos like this? Okay, bye.